Hey drummers, hope you're well. Shout out to Karen who is working on this today. This is building up, spicing up a basic groove in 4 stages. We started with this groove. So a classic straight ahead pop rock groove. It should be said at this point, like often that will be the best groove. So just because a drummer is capable of playing a groove that's busier or like has more in it than that doesn't necessarily mean that the busier thing has more musical value in a particular song. Of course, it might well be that boom, ga, boom, boom, ba is the best possible groove for that musical situation. But if you want to spice it up, I reckon the next step, working towards this groove we were playing, is to move one of the bass drums. So this is just getting a bit more funky. In that basic groove, we're playing 1, 2, 3, and 4. So all the kicks are like lined up or in sync with the hi-hat 8th note flow, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 but in this first little switch up to the groove, we're going to drop the first of the 2 kicks forwards. It's going to go in between the hi-hats on the of beat 3. Check it out. The of beat 2. Check it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 so. Now, I actually think this is a great little preliminary exercise for that thing that we start doing with drums around grade 3, where we start going dum, ga, boom, 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 ba, That sort of 2 quick kicks on the bass drum. I think this is a great preliminary exercise for that. One time again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So nice and slow, nice and steady, as slow as you like. The game there is dropping that bass drum cleanly between the hi-hats without playing an extra hi-hat with the bass drum. If that's new to you, go very slow. Just say it out loud. 1 and 2. Here's the moment. And 3 and 4. And one time again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It could well be, if that's relatively new to you, that in the whole of this, all these levels, all these stages we're talking about, that's the trickiest one, or the one that takes the most time to smooth out. The next stage is we're going to open up a hi-hat. Now, my favourite position to open a hi-hat in a bar of 8th notes is probably the and of beat 3. I just think it always sounds funky, even if you're playing like 4 on the floor, 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 2 and 3 and 4. So we're going to add that to our groove now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So 1 and 2 It's already pretty funky, isn't it? Remember, we started with. And remember again, that basic groove could be great in the music that you're playing. It could be the perfect groove. But what we've done here is move that bass, that first of the 2 bass drums, forward 1 semiquaver to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we've opened up the hi-hat on the and of beat 3, closing it on beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And the final stage is good old ghosted notes. You need your drum practice room to be haunted by your ghost notes, as quiet as you can play on the snare drum and still play cleanly. That's the really key bit. There's no such thing as too low with your sticks here. It's super low, super light. We're talking about these beautiful quiet little notes that drummers play on the snare drum, typically they are in this case, and in and around the hi-hats to give it groove and texture and feel. Here I'm going to suggest playing. So we're going to play one little ghost note in between the first two hi-hats on the E of beat 1, 1 E, and on beat 2 we're going to play 2 E and That classic thing with ghost notes, when you hit a backbeat snare drum, play a ghosted note straight afterwards on the E on the next 16th, E and almost like a little delay effect. We're going to play on the E of beat 3 in between the hi-hats, 3 E and we're going to play 4 E and So again on beat 4, you've played your big backbeat loud snare drum, quiet ghost note straight after, then another one on the the last 16th of the bar. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and So there we have it, your 4 stages. First of all, basic groove. Next stage, shift that bass drum. Third stage, open up the hi-hat. Here it comes. 2 and 3 and 4th stage, ghost notes. As ever, on the channel members page right now, I'll put a notation and practice along version for every single one of those stages. You can build it up. If the bass drum thing in between the hi-hats is new, go slow, program it in, take your time. If the ghost note thing is new, same. If the open hi-hat thing is new, same. And just as an example of how you can build a groove up. Thanks for watching as always. Shout out to Karen. See you soon.